Thing wrong with Shindo, Variety J. It's not meant to be negative. All right. I'm sure nothing. Variety J, I've never heard him say anything negative before. He's a nice guy. All right. He's not like me. I'm kind of a dick. Anyways, all right. Let's watch it. I'll give my opinions too. Everything wrong with Shindo life. Because I could name a few things wrong with Shindo life, if I'm being honest, all right?
So I'm sure that everyone in Shindo life has thought at one point, oh, there's something wrong with this game. So in this video...
Oh, no, there's a lot wrong with this game.
I'm going to be saying everything that is wrong with Shindo life. Now, if you guys agree with any of these points, like the video and comment below what it was. If it's not in this video, feel free to comment it below. I will be checking them out, and I will be hearting anything that actually is pretty good. Now, I just want to get this out there before I start the video. This is my opinion. This is just what I feel. I am not hating on the game. I actually really do like Shindo life. I think it's a great game, but I also think at the simultaneously that it could be better. So if you guys enjoyed
what I be saying, it's good. It could be so much better though.
This video, I'm first go right to the video, guys. Alright, so this is what I think is actually the biggest problem with Shindo life. The devs of Shindo life actually just make these absolutely massive changes without any, you know, forte from the players. Like, they don't ask the players if that's what they want or not. They kind of just add it. Dude. So I'm talking about things like the AO.
That's what I'm saying, bro. They could have like beta tests for whatever updates. If they're going to be big game-changing updates, they just change the whole game, drop it on you, and say, oh, well.
We update. I'm talking about things like the auto-dodge change. Auto-dodge change was a huge one in the beginning.
I don't really know any of the PvP
entirely. Literally changed the PvP of the game instantly. Now, with the perfect block system, they did that yet again, so they changed the auto-dodge system so now the perfect block is the main mechanic. I just feel like they should get a little more input from the players to see if that is what they actually want. But, you know, sometimes people don't know what they want, so sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't. And in most cases, it doesn't really work because I feel like it changes the game way too fast.
I can't really speak on the PvP problems. I don't PvP,
they kind of just like, all right, we're going to nerf all the AoE. All right, we're going to remove all instant abilities from the game. They just kind of do that sort of thing, and sometimes it does work. It has worked in the past. Like with this perfect block system, I do feel like it would be good if perfect block had
the animations are bad. I don't think the animations are bad. You guys got to remember, this is in Roblox, so it's there's a lot of limitations for what they can do because of it being Roblox.
Cooldown, but of course it has no cooldown. But sometimes it does work, most of the time it doesn't, and I just wanted to put this out there because I feel like this is something that is really wrong with the game because people get used to fighting a certain way in the game. They expect the game to perform a certain way when it comes to PvP. But
this is true, man. You can't just change the whole game like that. If people expect it a certain way, I'm sure people quit because of that.
Actually play the game after a while, you realize that everything has changed, and then people usually just quit after that because why would they try to fix it, you know? Why would they try to learn a new mechanic when they already knew everything about the game? Some people enjoy it, some people don't, and some people actually quit the game because of it. I feel like if you were to just introduce one small thing at a time, it would actually be a lot better than just being like, all right, we're gonna change everything at the same time. Now this is another big one. The spinning system is really flawed.
Dude,
now, what I mean by
who's spin? Like, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you spin, but for me, spinning sucks. I'll let him talk about the spin system and then I'll give my opinion on it. My bad.
Flawed is that KGs used to not be as rare when they first changed to Shindo life. They reduced the rarity of the super rare ones to below 1 out of 200 or at 1 out of 200. Now, since it's actually starting to get rarer than that, it is almost impossible to get the new bloodlines without buying them with Robux if they're limited. If they're not limited, half the time people won't even have them because they are so rare to get. I personally feel like for every 250 spins that you spin, you should get a 1 out of 150 bloodline or higher. It should be like 80 spin rarity, like you know how you get uncommons, but you should have the ability to only get 1 out of 150 or higher because I feel like with the actual spin system, the game is constantly evolving. There's so many bloodlines in the game.
Wait, is he playing on? Is this footage from Sun Boku or what's going on here?
That is almost impossible to get these super rare bloodlines even if you spin thousands of times. So there should definitely be a change to accommodate for all of the new bloodlines within the game. I would also like to say that this is also true for elements as well. The 80 spin rarity doesn't work for elements. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but it kind of
so yeah, dude, the fucking spins in my opinion completely suck. All right, spinning sucks. They know they know it sucks. I'm pretty sure they're just greedy, dude, because they know people like me will find it way more worth it to just buy whatever's the new bloodline rather than spinning over and over again, because you could spin 500 spins and still not get it, and guess what, you're gonna have to buy more spins to get it, and the bloodlines that you can't buy, you're gonna have to just keep buying spins to try to get it. It's a money grab. It's like Genshin, bro. This is a gacha game.
Doesn't at the same time, so that should be something that is looked on as well. Hey you, yeah you, have you remembered to hit that like button on the video yet? If you haven't already, go ahead.
Have I? Here, oh, I did like it.
ahead and do it. Now, as well, with things being too rare to get, we're going to talk about boss drops. Boss drops are almost impossible to get half the time. I'm not lying, guys. You know, I am on the balance team. You know, balance team gets given some things, but I usually...
What's balance team? What is that?
Really grind for my own stuff because, you know, usually it's faster than, you know, them giving it to you, and I want to get it out for updates. But when it comes to this, I spend 8 to 10 hours a day just grinding for 1 or 2 things.
Damn.
Stop it. Get some help.
That is ridiculous, especially for a Roblox game. I think
8 to 10 hours a day
for a single thing is a little bit ludicrous. And I also like to say that the boss timer is just too long. Even if they were to reduce the rarity of things, I do feel like the boss timer should be reduced to 3 minutes, because a lot of the time people are not rotating bosses. They're staying at the same boss. Changing to 3 minutes would almost half the amount of time that you have to take to grind something. And it would be a huge change that it would be super easy to implement as well. So yeah, definitely a reduce of the rarity would be great. You know, reducing the timer of the boss scrolls is kind of a definite. It should have been reduced. I actually used to be higher than what it is now. I'm pretty sure it was 6 minutes. It should definitely be reduced to 3 minutes, because I do not feel like, you know, people really use it for, you just rotate bosses much. You usually farm the same 1 or 2 bosses, and this just kind of just stalls out time. It's super boring to just sit there and do nothing. So it should definitely be a 3-minute timer instead of 5. But yeah, it's pretty crazy how long it takes to get a lot of the things in the game. It's I can see why a lot of people just inherently just instantly quit. Now there
are people who probably quit. All right, they probably quit because of that. All right. And I'll be honest, man, the 5-minute timer, I think you could just eliminate that, bro. That's so useless. Like the 5-minute timer, man, just let people spam it. You're just trying to get people to stay on your game longer. I think the drop chances, I guess, are they're fine for the most part. There's some that are ridiculously low. Like if it's anything less than 1%, like what the fuck? Even less than 2%, I'll be honest. And not even like boss drops, like boss hopping. I mean, server hopping for stuff that has an extremely low chance. I hate that, man. That's so dumb. Yeah, this should definitely be lowered. But, you know, they got to have that shit at a low chance because it's the only way they'll get people to continue to play the game.
One I've talked about before, but the lackluster game modes. The game modes are pretty bad. Like, competitive spawn killing is...
Yo, dude, all I've heard is that all the game modes are bad.
A huge issue. Also, the queues constantly break in competitive. Like, you constantly go to a server by yourself. There's not really much you could do about that. I don't really know how they would fix that unless they just added so that you would have to duel someone, maybe. But when it comes to actually competitive, I do feel like competitive, you know, it's okay game mode, but there should definitely be a reward for getting ranked like 500 points or above. 500 points is basically 500 wins. So there should definitely be an incentive to do that. Like, maybe just give them like 5,000, not even 5,000.
True, dude. I literally have no, like, I'm glad that there's no incentive to do PvP. Because I don't like it. I don't like it in the first place, and they don't even have any incentives for it. What, do you get like a couple rel coins every time you win? Is that even worth it?
Give them like 20,000 row coins, because it's only every month. So at the end of the month, it would give you points, right? And if you have 500 points or above, you get like 20,000 row coins. I think that would be a huge change. It gives some incentive to actually play the game modes. And also with that, row coins are almost impossible to get in this game. Row coins, there should definitely be an easier way to get row coins. Like maybe just literally just triple the amount of row coins you get from every single game mode. I'm not even lying when I say that. Like the Bloodlines in the game cost like what, 140,000 row coins. If you do the math, it would take you like a year straight of just grinding all day, every day. You know, if you have homework to do that, even less is the time, just to get like 2 bloodlines. That's ridiculous, man. The only
yeah, for a couple bloodlines, and then the bloodlines cost hundreds of thousands. What the hell is that, man? What the hell is that, man? They're gonna cost super expensive, and then you don't give them any way to actually get shit in the game.
real way to get row coins is from codes right now, and I do not feel like that's how you should be. The row coins you get from game mode specifically should be significantly higher. I don't mean like a 50 increase, I mean like increase it by a lot, like hundreds of row coins. I would also like to say that this has kind of been an issue for a while now. There's a lack of variety in updates. Now what I mean by this is that it is always a Bloodline KG update. It is always Bloodlines. There's almost always a new Bloodline introduced, even if it's elemental.
Dude. Yeah, I'll let him finish.
KG, you know, Bloodlines. They're actually elemental
update
KGs.
Variety is actually very
variety because it's normally not even elemental like KGs. Normally it's just the regular KGs that are insanely hard to get and super rare. So I do feel like a more variety, like, you know, maybe some updates just add some elements. Like we are begging for some new Kijitsu, some new elements. We want them. We want new Taijutsu. We want all of this new stuff that aren't, you know, specifically Bloodlines. Now, even though Bloodlines may be more interesting to newer players, the players that already play the game is actually a significant portion of the traffic in the game. And I feel like introducing things that are just not bloodlines would actually be a lot better for the game as well, because it also wouldn't flood the bloodline pool with a bunch of different bloodlines. Like the last time we got an element was what, like over a year ago? Maybe not a year. Yeah, over a year ago. I'm pretty sure Yin and Yang
anybody
was
even use
introduced
elements
when I first started playing the game, and that was almost over a year ago. I think there's been some like there's been skins, but skins don't really count, you know, in all honesty. So yeah, definitely some new elements would be great, some new taijutsu would be great, maybe even some new weapons. They're actually starting to get better sub abilities and weapons.
Yeah, okay, I'll give them that. They added a couple sub abilities and weapons in recent updates, but almost every update is a bloodline. Give me some bosses, man. It doesn't even have to be event bosses. Give us like bosses in the world that we can fight. Add new ones, man. There's new characters from Boruto that they haven't done. There's characters from Naruto that they haven't even made parodies of. Make new original characters. Just add more stuff into the game that isn't bloodlines. And honestly, they put too much. I think a problem too is they forget that this game is a Naruto game. All right, they can try to argue and say it's not a Naruto game, but it's a Naruto game. Let's be honest. Let's not try to walk around it so that Rel Games doesn't get sued again or have to take down their game again. It's a Naruto game, so focus more on Naruto stuff. You know, don't make so much fucking superhero stuff. All right, we get it. You like superhero stuff when they come out. It's cool every once in a while, but add more stuff that has to do with Naruto, more companions, more stuff like that that's cool.
Start to introduce some. That's a really great thing. I actually do really like that. I thought it was a really good idea. It gives people things to grind for, basically. Gives more meaning to actually fighting the bosses. But there should definitely just be more sub abilities, more weapons, more, you know, things like that. Not just skins of things, like actual new abilities would be a great addition to the game. Now, this is something with PvP itself, but I actually feel like PvP auto dodge modes should just be, you know, there should be something
I don't know anything about PvP,
them
so
that isn't, you know, just
I'll
auto
let him
dodging
speak
every,
for it.
you know, like 2 or 3 moves. There should definitely be a system in the game that kind of prevents this. Also, second life modes are a huge issue in the game right now, because you can unmode and remode after you actually lose the life, and you actually will get the you will get it back, basically. So there should definitely be a cooldown in the life modes. There actually is a cooldown for most of them, but the cooldown isn't, you know, it's not stopping people from abusing the system, like Akuma Eternal Hand, for example. Now, this is one that I personally feel should be a thing in this game, and I do understand that the Bloodline Bag makes them a lot of money. It's probably where most of the revenue comes from, at least.
Really? Are they making any money off of that? Because my chat every single day is, Vez, buy me the Bloodline Bag. Buy me the Bloodline Bag. All right. Obviously, not that many people have it
in the past, but there should be a way in the game to get a Bloodline Bag. Like,
that's
make it
true.
If you get max 50, you get a free Bloodline
max
Bag.
50?
You know, I feel like exploiters,
that's
okay,
so much.
yeah, they'll instantly get it, but if they're going to exploit the game, they'll get Bloodline Bag anyways. They can gift themselves the game pass with script.
Max 50. I'm max 1, and you know how long that took? Max 50. The Bloodline Bag is like $6, dude. It's more worth it to get a job at McDonald's, work for one day, get your paycheck, quit, and then buy the Bloodline Bag, man.
Just make a way in the game for people to get the Bloodline Bag, but you know, you could make it
I don't
difficult.
know about max
like
50.
I feel like dungeons in the rarity of like 1 out of like 600. That's kind of ridiculous because it's kind of a luck-based thing. But make it something quantitative. Make it something that you could do in the game, and I can promise you the player
should
count
have
will
something that you
increase
can work for to get
exponentially
it,
after that.
to be
Because the one main issue with the game is actually spinning away bloodlines that you have leveled up, and it's almost impossible to get them back unless you have actually bought them for the Rokoi shop, because then you can just equip them. But there should be a way in the game to get the Bloodline Bag that isn't just completely luck-based. It should be quantitative, like, you know, like I said, like max 50, or make it so like you kill 1,000 bosses, you get a free Bloodline Bag. You know, something like that would be a huge addition to the game, and I do feel like it would actually improve the game a lot, especially for the newer players of the game, because it would give them something to grind towards, you know? Because when you get thrown into the game, you're kind of just like you're kind of just thrown to the wind. There's not really much you could do about the game and all that stuff. Now, this is one that I have actually commented on before, but the toxicity in Shindo Life is absolutely...
Yo, true. Shindo is one of, if not the most toxic game on Roblox, dude. Let's see what he has to say first.
miserable. Now there's nothing that rail games can really do about this besides, like, you know, like telling people not to be toxic, and people will still be toxic no matter what. But it's kind of gotten a little bit ridiculous. Like, you know, there's been a lot of really rude people, especially recently with the, you know, CC coming back out. They're all the really toxic players coming back to the game. So I feel like there should be kind of a I don't know, I feel like there should be an incentive to not be toxic to people. I don't really know what to do about that, but yeah, toxicity in Shindo life is a major issue. It's not really one that people can inherently instantly solve, but I can, you know, somewhat help solving it by just telling you guys to be nice. You know, it's fun to throw someone off the map
guys.
once or twice, but don't just
listen to Variety J, y'all. Be nice.
sit on their corpse and not let them respawn or stuff like that. Like, don't like crap talk people constantly. Just try to be nice to people. You know, I think that's kind of the only thing. The only way to fix toxicity is by fixing the community itself. Now, I also did want to talk about the events.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, bro. This game is super toxic, all right? Every time there's an update, especially, update days are the worst days for my stream because the stream gets so toxic with viewers. When I to play PvP for the first time, when I tried PvP for the first time, like, what is that for new players, man? And, you know, I can handle it. I can handle the toxic people because I can just ignore it. I can time them out. I can ban them. I don't care. Other people, they probably can't handle it as well as I can. So I don't have a solution, but it is a problem.
In the game, so the events, the Jichiki event was great. I feel like they really gave it incentive with all getting
the last good
mode,
update.
you know, getting Jinchiki God mode, getting some new things from it. But I've said this before and I'll say this again. The Bloodline should drop from the boss. I'm sure they can
Yeah, why does it not? That is so dumb. Jinchiki isn't even a good bloodline, and it's so hard to get through spinning.
Retroactively change it so that Kogoku drops from Kogoku and Jinchiki drops from Jinchiki. It wouldn't even matter if Jinchiki dropped from the boss because the bloodline isn't even that great itself. So why not just make it drop for the boss, like Kogoku too?
True.
You know, these should be boss drops. I don't know.
Also, why is there no Kogoku or even Jinchiki companions yet? That, like, where are they, man?
I don't really understand why they're not. I'm sure they have their reasons, but I don't know if the reasons kind of overpower the actually grinding the boss, because nobody will grind the boss after the event's over because you don't get the extra stuff. So I do feel like the boss bloodlines should drop from the events. I don't know why they stopped doing that. It should still be a thing because it, you know, it gives another way to get bloodlines in the game. By the way, guys, what do you guys think is wrong with Shindo Life? What do you think is the most
Everything.
inherent problem in the game? For tell me comments below. So another
Here's my thing, all right? Here's what I think is the biggest problem, all right? So, as far as I know, Rel Games is two people, two brothers that make the game, all right? I know for a fact that they are making boatloads of money off of this game and can afford to hire more developers to work on the game. That is the problem, is that that's only two people. You can't make a big successful game like this off of only two people. So they need more people to help out. They can hire more people. I know they can, bro. I'm a fucking YouTuber and I have 5 fucking employees, all right? They can hire a couple employees, man.
The thing I want to talk about is that there is a severe lack of ability variety in the game. Now, there's like a bunch of different KGs in the game that actually share abilities from each other. I think that each bloodline should have its own identity. Each bloodline should be unique from one another, and each bloodline overall should just have a different feel to it than one another. A lot of bloodlines in this game, they kind of share the same feel. Like, they kind of just do the same thing, but look a little bit different. And I do feel like that should definitely be something that should be worked on in the future. But it's not really a pressing concern in the game, but it's something definitely wrong with it. Now, another thing I want to say is that I think the idea of releasing something that's super broken and nerfing it
Hold
a
up,
week later.
why are people in chat? I'm not flexing. I'm saying that they can afford to hire more employees to make their game better. I'm not trying to say they're being greedy, but I hire people to make my content and make my stuff better and easier, all right? Why can't they? I'm just saying it's possible, okay?
Is it really that great? If you're gonna release something that's super broken, you should slowly nerf it so people can slowly drift away from it.
Variety J, all right, I know why Bloodlines come out broken and then get nerfed, all right? They come out broken and super OP. It's basic game dev, all right? It's basic game dev strategies, all right? You make it super broken and OP so that people will spend money to buy it so that they can play it when it's super broken and OP, and then they trash it later on. So the nerfed version is what it was originally intended to be like, and then they nerf it once everybody has it because they just want people to buy it.
to a different thing, because I feel like these huge buffs and these huge nerfs all at once isn't really working out, because people will spend all their time getting this bloodline, and a week later or even like 3 days later instantly becomes trash. So I feel like that is a big issue with the game, because people spend so much time, so many resources grinding for something just for it to end up being bad. It's just overall really not that great of an experience. It should definitely be something that should be done over time. Anyways guys, if you guys actually enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys actually want to see
that was a good video. I like that video. Yeah, I think the biggest problem with Shindo is that they won't hire more people to work on the game. And yes, somebody said they made it successful with only 2 people. Yes, they did. But they could make it better. Why won't they? That's all I'm saying, man.